Day 3, here we go. So I told you that today we were going to have some fun and be safe. And that's absolutely what we're going to do. Safe, SE, is going to be what your product needs to be. All right, so the first thing is it needs to be S, which is to solve a problem. All right, so you definitely, this is absolutely 100% key, is if you want to have success with a product, it needs to solve a problem. This is the only reason people buy things, is to solve a problem, okay? So prove me wrong. But anyway, so it has to be S for solve a problem. A is for attractive. Your product needs to be attractive. It does not need to be, well, how do I say this? So anything can be attractive, okay? So it might, if it's a shovel, it could just mean that the shovel has a red handle. It doesn't matter. Somehow the shovel has to be attractive. If it's ugly, then it needs to have a reason why it's ugly, okay? Every thing is ugly. All right, there's things that are ugly. Possibly even store brand items may be very bland looking. If you remember generic, okay, that like just black and white, that was attractive because people, when they saw that, they knew it meant the lowest price, and that's why it was attractive. So everything, it needs to be attractive, financially possible. If you are going to try to make a product and you're going to make the product for $5 and sell it for 10, it's probably not going to be financially possible. All right, this is really, really important, that you need to have more than a 2-to-1 markup. A 2-to-1 markup is, I mean, if it's a very, very expensive item, then maybe you're okay. But for your typical household products, typical products, you need to shoot for a 10-to-1 markup. You may not get that 10-to-1 markup, but that's what you should be shooting for. Matter of fact, let me give you a prime example right now. I am currently working on a project, and all right, it is party invites, okay? So here is the party invite. You pop it open. It's a pop-up card. It says you're invited. It's got all the details and everything, and it's a really cool pop-up card, okay? Getting these done like 51 cents each, and once I have them in hand, maybe at the absolute most, we're going to be at about 75 cents each, and I'm going to be selling them for like $5 each. 50 would be ideal, right? But I know the market can't bear that. But I also am not going to sell them for $1.50 because I know I will lose my shirt. All right, marketing costs more money a lot of times, so you definitely want your financially possible. All right, so then easier problem is absolutely key as well. You are not going to a solution to a problem that causes more problems. So your product needs to be easier to buy and easier to own and easier to use than the problem was to deal with. All right, so that's SAFE. Keep that mantra in mind when you're developing a new product. Once you're done that, we're going to have some fun. SUMFN is the next piece, okay? And we'll start out with that. So what is your idea? You have some fun. S stands for search in Google and see if your product exists, or anything almost identical to it exists. If you're going to have problems, it also could be helpful to find something similar. Because something similar, you may get a good idea as to whether it is selling, get a good idea as to what to sell it for, price-wise. Okay, so S is search Google, USPTO.org. Remember my YouTube, figure out how to navigate. Go to YouTube and you'll find a video showing you how to do it. So anyway, USPTO that you can possibly think that may be what your product is. This is for a new invention. If it's not a new invention, if you're just rebranding this. All right, so M, I didn't have an M, so I ask your mom. All right, so there you go. There's an M for you. Friends, you want to see other people think. Action from people where they're like, where can I get this? They want to buy it now, not just they're supporting you because they where they can get it now. All right, so that's the F, and then U, which is Upwork. Absolutely amazing. I love Upwork. So Upwork is where you can find to work for you for next to nothing to do your busy work. Okay, whether you're going to be or not, this is so incredibly valuable. If you aren't aware of this yet, is get someone else to do. If you are working in your business and not on this, you're going to lose. All right, you can't be doing $10 an hour work. You need to be passing that type of work off to someone else to do. And on Upwork, you're going to find somebody for $3, $4, or $5 an hour who's going to be able to do this work for you. I have someone who works for me doing 50 hours a week, charge me $5 an hour. He's in the Philippines and he is living like a king in the Philippines because they're a secretarial $1 or $12 a day. Okay, so he's definitely a killing at that wage. Definitely get work done inexpensive. So check out Upwork and the spanking brand new notebook. Splurge on that 50 cents and write down everything. Your product. Keep all of your notes in there. You still find that a notebook is so much easier because if I am going to be doing something an idea, the first thing I do is jot down an idea. If I have to change screens, app, just a lot of times I'm not going to end up writing it down. So notebooks sitting computer all the time is such a great idea, even if it's not just for your inventing, but even if it comes by and they're like, hey Brian, and you're like, hey John, they're like, lunch tomorrow. Right? Yeah, absolutely, lunch, John. Okay, because then you're going to look back down, you go, oh, the calendar. You might have been on a phone call when they came in. Having that little notebook sitting in front of you is key. Keep one that your inventions. Okay, a lot of information for one day. Even though I went through it very quickly, it's a lot of information. You might want to watch this and apply. I'm telling you, apply to inventions. They apply to so much more. And then I'm going to tell you about tools that I use in my new products. And so tune back in for that. We will have some more fun.